Okay, so another random video possibly. If by the time you watch this and it's actually interesting and has tons of views, you'll notice my last video was posted a few months before this one, and for good reason and some personal, and I feel like I should let everyone know for the purposes of having this stuff noted down in videos for the future. So, long story short, I lost motivation, like I always seem to do if you've seen my other videos, and I was told by close relatives pretty much that my goals for this indie project were childish, and compared it pretty much to being like a singer, which I mean, I'll admit, who doesn't want to be a game designer or indie developer or whatnot. But that wasn't like the only thing. There was just a bunch of other stuff. Like another thing that kept creeping into my mind, and what motivated me the most was the income I would potentially generate. Even though I've said a bunch of times to myself, like, oh, you know, this might not make a bunch of money, whatever. At first, the concept was, let's see if I can make a fun, quick game. Like, I don't know, just to get my foot in the door, maybe a little scholarship or something, put it in my resume. Which then turned into a larger game with a hopefully interesting story, which then was consumed with the idea of making it quickly to make money, and right there, I did it. Turned right into Activision. Sure did.
Now, until now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
I was a little disappointed in myself because I was a hypocrite. I mean, of course, everyone wants to get paid for what they love doing, but to force it out to make money fast is just ridiculous, and we all know what the results of that can be. I'm looking at you, Activision. So, losing hope and feeling like my story won't be enough to keep players interested, I gave up for a while. I still had in the back of my mind I wanted to make the game as I envisioned, but I just didn't see it as a possibility. I saw it as like this just dream, like everyone told me it was, until I get a working first level, I probably won't get as ambitious as I used to get. So I started thinking, and I've done some research, I guess what you could say, on what makes a game fun, an FPS more specifically, and it's not all about story and it's not all about gameplay. It's balancing the two and knowing which one is the game's strength for the audience you are trying to reach. And that was kind of interesting to me. Basically, I learned what I kind of already knew in the beginning but lost as I went on. I had to be creative. I have to do things that weren't originally going to cut it in my, I guess you could say, original idea, but I may have to scrap the whole game cliche mechanic comedy, because making fun of games for being cliche has become cliche.
The very thing you swore to destroy.
So I thought hard to myself and I said, well, what would make me want to play this game? Me personally. If this game came out and someone else made it, what would be my interest in playing this game and having fun playing it, and maybe even playing it a second time? First thing was destructible everything. That's big to me. Like Battlefield touched that a little bit when it first came out. Well, not first came out, but like as it started going on, and like more destructible things came out, it really piqued my interest. I got Battlefield 3, I played Bad Company 2, and I just felt like it was still limiting. Like you couldn't destroy everything. There was still like a skeleton of a house, or it would just be like this big mess. Like you can only destroy houses and objects, like you couldn't destroy everything. And then I started thinking to myself, okay, how can I do that? I have buildings and assets, they can just be tweaked, but what about the houses? They were completely blank inside, so maybe I can fill them? That would be a pretty quick fix to make them hollow, but then I need to make some assets like tables, chairs, I don't know, just general stuff to make it seem like a plausible house. but I didn't want to stop there. I didn't want to stop where other games have, like I was just talking about. Obviously the ground can't be broken,
Liar!
and limits would have to be in place to prevent game breaks and clipping through the map. But what if I let that happen? What if I just open Pandora's box, I guess? Create a basic sewer level, like this. I can make a terrain underneath the map, and just, I don't know, make it look like this really crude sewer. Make a few more assets. Just make it seem pretty believable, like if you were to shoot the ground and it started crumbling, and you saw this and there was a little bit of water under there and everything, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's a sewer underneath the street. And that's plausible. I could do that and have a thin layer of terrain on top. Okay, so now I have, so if that works out, I have the ability to destroy the streets. You can destroy the buildings. You can destroy everything. Almost everything in the level is destroyable, except for that base layer, which would prevent the player from essentially falling through the map, which would be awesome if that could be possible. So I was thinking, okay, destructibles isn't going to be the only thing that's going to make it fun. That's just going to be a small part of it. So what else? Creative weapons. Guns that shoot, I don't know, live fish. Guns that, yeah, you know where I'm going with this. Game mechanics that aren't overused, like no ammo clips, just one number, no regen health, inventory system, maybe, entertaining gore, and ragdolls. That would have to be implemented. Maybe make it so arms and faces just fly off and they go flying back, and certain guns make them go like shooting through the walls. With the Apex physics destructible thing that I have on my computer, don't know what it's called completely there. You can make this possibility. You can make your mesh. You can give it parameters so that when something is shot at it through high velocity and UDK, like driving a vehicle through it, or you know, a ragdoll, a body going through it, it'll crumble. Whereas UDK's default fracture wouldn't do this. So that could be very possible. For funny voice acting also, and deaths, all subtle, but when combined, can become very chaotic and fun. So I started getting all this stuff together, and then story. And then I started thinking about cutscenes. What am I going to do about them? Should I be quick and to the point? Should I narrate them? Should I let the images tell the story? Should I have any voicing? Should I go with my original plan? And then I started thinking more about the character. I wanted to understand what makes an interesting character. I've just learned about from this YouTube channel. I don't know the name of it, but in the video they talked about the Myers-Briggs type indicator method, and that's given me a lot of info on how to make a character relatable and how to learn from the character and just make an interesting character overall. Understanding how level design can eliminate the need for text and maps to hold your hand basically through the game, and how to separate itself from everyday games like Call of Duty comes to mind. I know, fucking, excuse my French, cliche to think of Call of Duty when it comes to this stuff, but you know, the text that says do this, you have to do this, and then there's a big thing on the screen that tells you how close you're getting, and it says, oh, you're this many meters away from your objective, you're getting closer, buddy, oh, don't forget to do this when you get there. How can I eliminate that and still make it easy for the player to understand what he's doing? At the end of the day, it's basically coming down to separating my game from other indie games that are out there and other bigger games, I guess. And without forgetting one key point, that I'm making a game. It's not a movie. It's not this story narrative. You don't open it to have a story read to you. You open it to play, to get immersed in the environment, to play in this environment and have fun. if it's only for 10 minutes, an hour, whatever. So, well, that's my quick little spiel, I guess. Taking the time to learn what games need to be fun for like the audience that I'm going after, and I'm going back to basics, I guess, which is seeing if I can make a fun game, but with an interesting story that's not Rust. So I'm kind of taking everything. I've kind of learned a lot about this process over the past few months, because I expected the game, I wanted it to be done kind of nowish, but obviously I'm not anywhere near that. And I'm not trying to make this seem like this game is going to be like groundbreaking, it's going to be new. I'm not making a game that will... I'm making a game that will be okay to average rating. I'm not going to market this as the next big thing, and I'm not trying to accidentally market it as that. So when I release it, and the cult of followers that I've gathered throughout the months get their hands on it, they know exactly what they're going to be playing. So my goal for now is to get a working first level as quickly and reasonably as possible, make sure it's fun, and then add the bells and whistles later. And that might be in my next big video. I may upload a few here and there to show progress and concepts, even though my concepts kind of suck, but it's just fillers for now. And the video wise, I'm not taking myself too serious with these concepts, because I kind of already have an imagination of what the levels and stuff look like, but it's always good to have like this solid image on paper. But anyway, that's not important. So if you're interested in this project, so that's the end of this video. If you're interested in this project at all still, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps out a lot. Only if you're interested. And thanks for watching.